Once we get our first years out here, each individual's doing a really, really good job of, and I think this type of program is very good in allowing first year kids to kind of get in here together and compete. And so I think that's really, really unique and an awesome thing to have. Like I said, all of them are doing a really, really good job, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and hopefully we continue on up here throughout the species. And I think it's important to make a first experience here in the show ring a good one. So we'll go ahead and give everyone in here a purple ribbon. If you would, go ahead and put your hands together as we go ahead and shake the hands of your champion.
Great job, Super Starters. Our Grand Champion Super Starter Showman is Elaine McDonald. Our Reserve Champion is Cannon Green. Purple ribbons go to Sawyer Herringfield, Wyatt Hensley, Emery Judd, Abigail McCauley, Stetson Reynolds, and Chase Roberts. Our Grand Champion Super Starter Showman received the trophy sponsored by Rocky Mountain Supply. We are ready. As soon as these pigs are out, we're going to start our first class of market flying. As soon as this last hog is out in the ring, I'm going to need Grady Erickson, Wyatt Hensley, Giselle Reagan, Colton Merritt, Finch Reynolds, Dylan Anderson, and Cannon Green. The weight break on this class is 230 to 237. We have 8 classes of market flying today, so we're going to be holding back the top 1 or 2, and then we'll do a final drive at the end.
Hog Show at their first class. Lots of differences between from top to bottom, whether it be muscle differences, skeletal differences, and how they look. But I think one that just kind of puts the most good together and it's the most complete, if you will, of this particular class. The young man's Belfast Barrel here in the corner. He's going to go ahead and win the class. Just like we were discussing, that pig, one that I think that is plenty big center, product driven type hog that's square built and light constructed. It's got the right kind of shape up high, and then I think when the barrel wants to behave for the young man, he gives you a good look from the side in terms of being tall bladed and having the neat design on the side. Young man's white coated barrel is going to go ahead and come in third. Really like this one in terms of shape and expression. Very good in how it feeds out of the backside of its blade. A flexible, pliable type hog. If we're going to change this one ever so slightly, we're just a little bit too soft and squishy in areas where we don't need to be. We're just kind of too soft and down on our front pasterns there. Young lady's blue gilt that was going to go ahead and be third. Again, one you like a lot in terms of shape. Very lean, fat-free bases there is very good. We need to make that gilt structurally a nickel better in terms of the angle to her blade. She needs to be pushed back from the angle to her blade, longer and leveler out of her hip. Very shapely and expressive. And young ladies did a good, nice job of getting that one presented for the show ring. Young man's belted gilt that'll go ahead and come in next. Shape is very good, very raw and muscular type gilt here. I just wish we could make that one more three-dimensional coming and going. It kind of wants to close out to the base of her sternum, the base of her rib cage there, and it's just to flatten her upper rib. We could make that one have a little bit more outward turn to the center cavity. Blue hog that'll go ahead and come next fixes those things. That one's definitely bigger and more robust in the center. It gives you a productive look that gilt has. We just are getting a little bit too plain down our top. If we could freshen that one up and put some shape, make her more aggressive in how it feeds out of the backside of her blade there. Young man's chromed up gilt here. Good again, sounding like a broken record, and that was good in terms of shape and expression. I think backside of that blade, her blade is where we would maybe want to make it a little bit more aggressive. We're kind of wanting to pull up there in our shine. I think that's consequences of it, her being kind of lower fronted. So if we could just make that one taller bladed and even looking from the side, maybe be able to move up a few spots. And then our blue hog that'll go ahead and run out here next. Again, exhibiting for us a very flexible, practical type hog that I think has lots of real world value. Get into the show ring, kind of falling short in terms of the extras, in terms of being tall bladed, good looking from the side. Really good class, so go ahead and give all those kids a big hand.
First class of market flying receiving purple ribbons, Wyatt Hensley, J. Reagan, and Dylan Anderson. Blue ribbons went to Grady Erickson, Finch Reynolds, and Cannon Green, and red ribbons to Colton Merritt. All right, we're starting our second class of market flying. In the ring, I need Sawyer Herringfield with 2 pigs, R.A. Judd, Sawyer Anderson, Caitlin Noyes, Spencer Broughton, Diane Cervantes, and Nate Hill. The weight break on this class is 240 to 250.
Really, really good class. That being said, though, I think the young man's bear that's going to go ahead and win. I still see does so fairly handily. Young man's doing an awesome job getting this one driven. That one's a good skeleton and flexible in terms of the angle to its blade, how that one's knee and tassels are set into it. Got a very good and attractive hind leg that's set into that one. And then to study that one in terms of basics of fundamentals in terms of being square built, big center, plenty muscular and shapely. Nice one to go ahead and win. Now the young man's blue barrel is going to go ahead and come in second. Still like a lot of pieces about this one. One that's very tall bladed and gives you the right kind of look from the side. In particular, comparing to the one, the hog that wins our class, driving away, you don't hear a whole lot of pin set in hogs, but that one's definitely bigger pin and bigger in its upper hit there and more powerful from behind. I just wish we could freshen that one up ever so slightly. We're kind of getting plainer down the top portion of our skeleton. We can make that one a little bit more aggressive in how it feeds out of the backside of his blade there. Red gilt that'll go ahead and come in third. I like pieces of this one when we get this one driven in terms of being tall bladed, the shape to her skull and how sleek she is to the front one. Third is unique. Like pieces of her in terms of her skeleton. If we're going to change this one, we can make this one a little bit more three-dimensional coming and going, and then get nitpicky just there at the surface are just too stiff and upright on our rear pasterns there, but one you like the pieces of and tie into from the side. Young man's belted barrel that'll go ahead and come in fourth. Definitely just a rugged, durable type hog that's practical in terms of muscle shape and power. We just need to make that one taller bladed and neater looking from the side in order to move up towards the top end of the class. But it's hard to name one that's just fundamentally correct, big centered and powerful there. Young lady's chromed up hog that'll come out next. That one that's tall bladed, extension ahead of her shoulder is very good. If we're going to change this guy over, he needs to be better built and more flexible. He's too straight and angled to his blade, too stiff off of his rear too as well. But one they like the shape, expression, and extension of that one an awfully lot. Young lady's blue barrel that'll come out here. Again, one that's a fundamentally good one in terms of being wide and dimensional up high, powerful from behind and big and right in terms of the shape to his rib cage. We just need to make that one better built and more flexible off both ends. Make that one taller bladed and easier to tie into there from the side. Young lady's black and white barrel will come out here next. Width and dimension is all very good up high and matches that at the surface in terms of being big chested, big centered and productive in this kind. Just getting a little bit too chubby in my opinion in terms of that one's flank up through his jowl. If we can freshen that one up and accordingly that'll help freshen him up in terms of some shape up high as well. But one that's just a big centered heavyweight type of a hog there. The young man's belted barrel and round out the set. Again, fresher in terms of shape than the one we just discussed. High, we're just running into some structural and skeletal issues with this one in terms of the angle to our blade, how we utilize our rear leg, and then at the surface kind of falling short in terms of some extras in terms of being big-footed and stout featured. Good class. Go ahead and give all those kids a big hand.
In our second class of market swine, we see purple ribbons are Spencer Broughton and Nate Hill. Blue ribbons go to Sawyer Herringfield, Sawyer Anderson, Caitlin Noyes, Diane Savante. And red ribbons go to Ari Judd and Sawyer Herringfield. Okay, looks like we're ready for our third class of market swine. In the ring, I need Wade Leachman, Devin Judd, Stetson Reynolds, Tanner Bird, Dylan Camp, Colton Noyes, Emily Taves, and Emery Judd. The weight break on this class is 250 to 257.
Again, good class as we keep on rolling through here. Interesting class, and I think in particular an interesting class winner as well. And you know, and trying not to be rude or anything, just being extremely blunt. Okay, so how to win this class? Is he wide enough, and then does he have enough muscle? I'm not quite sure. But I think in terms of being the most unique animal we've seen today, the one that's the most complete, I think that that's an easy guess. Studying that hog in terms of his skeleton, very good in how he get out here and drives in terms of the angle to his blade, the set and flex he has to his rear leg when he grabs the gear and gets going here. And I don't think I commended the young man enough in showmanship, just basically saying exactly what he told me when I asked him what he liked about that barrel. That guy's feature is very good. He's stout-skulled, he's big-footed and big-armed. Just a lot of unique things about that pig. But just like the young man told me in showmanship, wish he was a nickel wider, more opened up in his rib cage and had a little bit more muscle there, and a very different, unique type of hog there. Young man's blue gilt that'll come in second again. Like that one in terms of topside shape and dimension. Power is all very good with that gilt. Her bones need to be set into her a little bit better in order to get out and drive with some more flexibility and comfort in terms of the angle to her blade, where she sets that rear leg going away and the pressure of where it sets in her hock there. The shape and expression of that one's very good. Young lady's blue hip crowd going to go ahead and come in third. Again, one shape and expression is all very good with this one. Expressive and powerful out of his hip and from behind. Just wish if we could make that one a little bit more bigger and more robust in the center in terms of that one being higher and the set to its flank. Allowing that one to balance a little bit better there from the side. Young man's faded donkey barrel that'll go ahead and come in next. Very shapely and expressive type hog. Good on a fat feed, pretty lean basis there. If we do make this one just a little bit softer, not only in his inner cavity, but we can make that one softer in the skeleton as well, in terms of the angle to his shoulder, more flexibility there, but a nice shapely and expressive one. Young lady's Berkshire Imperial marked up one here. Very good in terms of width and dimension. That one's wide skeleton, big center and opened up. Biggest issue with this guy is if we're running into some issues with that one's maturity pattern. He's not a super late maturing hog by any means, but muscle, power, and product is all very good with that one. Young lady's strung up right here. One you like in terms of extension ahead of that one's blade, tall bladed, sleek and good about the shape of your skull and jaw. We just need to make that barrel better moving and more flexible out here on the drive. Just too stiff and stilty off of both ends, but shape, expression, and extension is all very good. Young man's belted barrel here, again, one you like, you can't ding for being a fundamental market hog, being big centered, heavyweight, and productive in his kind. Just need to make that one a little bit later maturing, taller bladed and better looking from the side in order to move on up the line here. And the young man's blue-eyed barrel here to round out the set. Lateness and maturity is all very good, tall bladed, real world type pig here. We just need to make that one wider constructed and more muscular to get past couples that were in here today in the class. Really good class, so I had to give all those kids a big hand.
All right, receiving purple ribbons, Wade Leachman and Colton Noyes. Receiving blue ribbons, Devin Judd, Tanner Bird, Emily Page, and Emery Judd. Receiving red ribbons in that class is Stephanie Reynolds and Dylan Hill. Welcome our next class in market hogs. This is class 4. We have Grace Traeger, Wyatt Hensley, Brady Erickson, Emily Page, Caitlin Noyes, Katie Broughton, Allison Camp, and Abigail McFoley. The weight break on this class is 259 to 272.
Yeah, really good class. Lots of similarities. I think thinking back to the class before in terms of differences and unique things. Young ladies belted barrel will go ahead and win. I think does so fairly handily with this one. Just again, another individual I didn't commend enough in how she answered her question in terms of describing that barrel to me. She did very good. Just telling me, what he is. He is a white constructed, big centered, muscular hog that, when we get this thing driven, I think is acceptable in terms of his skeleton. Maybe we're just getting a little bit too squishy there out front off of our front pasterns, and then going away. If we need to be a little bit more controlled where we're setting that rear leg, driving away, we can make that one a little bit longer face as well, but a nice one to go ahead and win. Young ladies, red barrel, that'll go ahead and come in second again. Similar things. Again, just telling you how that one is. That one doesn't have enough muscle, and he's not quite wide enough, but that one's very unique in terms of how tall bladed he is. Gives you a really good look from the side in terms of structural, giving you the right kind of design and look, like I said, biggest issue, he needs to be wider and he needs to be more muscular in order to win this particular class, but very unique things that you'll like an awful lot about that one. Young ladies, belted barrel that'll go ahead and be third. Definitely fixes those things. That was bigger center, that was wider constructed, and that was more muscular. We just need to match a couple of things in terms of making that one taller bladed, more flexible off of both ends in terms of the angle for a blade and how we really utilize our rear leg as we get going out here on the drives. Young ladies, belted barrel that'll go ahead and come next. Again, fundamentally correct one that's got lots of value in terms of shape and expression. Good in terms of being big and productive in his center. We just need to make that one taller bladed and more unique up front to have in the front third of that one skeleton in order to maybe move on up the line, but one that you gotta like a lot of shape and expression about. calico one that'll come out here next. Again, fundamentally correct in terms of width and dimension. Really actually like the actual turn and shape for this one's rib cage and where it sits at the base of his sternum there regarding to the rest of his body. We just need to make that one fresher, give that one a little bit more angle to his blade and allow that one to dry with some more comfort and flexibility out here, but one that's good in terms of width and dimension. White one that comes out here, again, lateness and maturity is very good. Long spine, tall bladed, one that's got lots of extension. We just need to make that one more three-dimensional coming and going. We're just too narrow-chested and narrow constructed going away. Need to make that one bigger and more robust in the inner portion of that one's cavity as well. Duroc hog here, again, one that's good in terms of lateness and maturity, extension, you all like about it. We just need to make that one narrower constructed, or excuse me, he's too narrow constructed. We need to make them wider constructed and more muscular to move on up. Similar story with the blue one that'll round out the set. Ones that are big frames, high-performing type hogs that have hold value. We just need to make that one wider constructed and more muscular to get past a couple of the ones here in class. But a good one, go ahead and give all those kids a big hand.
Receiving purple ribbons is Kaden Broughton and Grace Kroger. Blue ribbons go to Wyatt Hensley, Emily Page, Caitlin Noyes, and Allison Camp. Red ribbons to Abigail McCauley and Grady Erickson. Please welcome our 5th class of Market Swine. We'll have Barrett McDonald, Caden Broughton, Nate Hill, Joseph Krager, Wade Leachman, Colton Noyes, Kaylin Sandre, and Taylor Noyes. Your weight break on this class is 274 to 278.
Okay, again here, really good class all the way through. Interesting and unique animals from top to bottom, but I think top four out here are also very good and can go on to compete at any level. Particularly, I think a very interesting top duo of hogs that, you know, wouldn't argue with if you wanted to switch it one way or the other. To me, the young lady spot back there that goes heads and win. That's just a better skeleton, sounder structured one. You know, that one's got all the right pieces in terms of width, shape. That one's rib cage is very good. That one's just more flexible off of the front skeleton, has more range of motion there. And in particular, that one's rear legs and rear wheels are just more aesthetically correct and gives you just more range of motion and flexibility there. Do we want to change a few things? Absolutely. If he kind of wants to crinkle up there at his loin and get uncomfortable there, he doesn't have the prettiest shape to his skull in the world, but a nice one to go ahead and skin. Now the young Gaspara is going to go ahead and come in second. This one is very unique. Again, prefer this one in terms of the shape to that one's skull and neck, and look from the side up front. That's what a back is supposed to look like on a show pig in terms of freshness, squareness of shape, and where it feeds out of the backside of his blade. Powerful enough from behind. Biggest issue with this guy is we get him out in motion. He's just too stilty up front in terms of the angle to his blade, and a little bit too much concern there off of his rear too in terms of how coarse and big we're getting there at our joints. But again, a very freakishly good one in terms of muscle shape and expression. I think if we can combine those two things together, we have a really nice one there. Young lady bear that will go ahead and come in third. Again, one that's good in terms of softness to center, big and productive there in his rib cage. Shape and expression is all very good. We just need to freshen that one up ahead of his shoulder, underneath his neck and his jaw to make that one look a little bit better from the side. That's where the young man's barrel in fourth definitely has the edge. That one's definitely taller bladed and more extended up front there. We just need to make that one more flexible up both ends. We're just too stilty there at the angle to our shoulder and off of our rear too. I think muscle shape is good from that one's mid-rib back. We're kind of wanting to pull up and get a little bit stale there where our shine sits into us, but what do you like in terms of that one's extension and look from the side. Barrett, go ahead and come out here next. Again, one that's hard today in terms of being a fundamental hog, in terms of muscle and width and dimension is all there. We just need to make that one taller bladed and easier to look at from the side in order to compete with a really challenging and interesting top four there with this class. Calico barrel that'll come out here next, one that's heavyweight and productive in its kind. We need to make this one a little bit better built. The structure's not right. Kind of wanting to do the wobble off of both ends in terms of where we're pushing out with our elbow and how our blade sits into the rest of our body. Well, that one needs to be more flexible off of his rear too as well. Duroc hog that'll round out here next, tall bladed, one the lateness and maturity is all very good. We just need to make that one wider coming and going. Narrower chest, and it's too frail at the surface, but the height of shoulder, this one an extension is all good. Belted one that'll round out the set, one that you like in terms of lateness and maturity, big high-performing type hog that's got lots of value. We're just kind of falling short of some extras in terms of skeletal width, making that one taller bladed and easier to find from the side. Really tough class. What do you always get the big man?
All right, receiving purple ribbons in that class, Kate Broughton, Nate Hill, Wade Leachman, and Taylor Noyes. Receiving blues, Colton Noyes, Joseph Prager. Receiving red is Kaylin Sandray and Barrett McDonald. Please welcome your marching class 6, Taylor Noyes, Spencer Broughton, Benson Judd, Allison Camp, Kenzie Howie, Kayla McDonald, Olivia Roberts, and Kaylin Chandray. Your weight break on this class is 283 to 304.
Again, really, really good class. Differences top to bottom. Young man's chrome depth guilt that wins. I think does so pretty easy with this particular class in here. That one is very unique and good in terms of that one's height to shoulder and being tall bladed. Shape to that one's skull and extension that that one has up front is very good. Very flexible type guilt. I think if we're going to get picky, just a little, we're too flexible in some areas. In terms of being too soft and down on our front pasterns, as well as being too down on our rear pasterns as well. But a nice one to go ahead and win. Young lady's off belted gilt that'll go ahead and come in third. Just kind of hits me as the next best one of a combination of shape and power, freshness and expressiveness of that muscle. If we're going to change this girl, we need to make that one taller bladed and more extended up front. Maybe have that one utilize the rear legs a little notch better with some more coordination. But you like the shape and expression there. Young lady's belted barrel, that'll be third. Good in terms of width and dimension. That one's big centered, wide constructed, and dimensional up high. We just need to make him fresher, not only in his lower body and flank, but up front in his jowl and up through his neck there to make that one a little bit easier to find from the side. Young man's barrel, that'll go ahead and come in next. Like this one a lot in terms of width. It's a very big back, big ended type hog. You can't hurt and get mad at for being a big center, productive type pig. We just need to make this one taller bladed and neater to look at from the side and having a little bit more showing presence for one that's just a fundamentally correct muscular hog there. Young lady's blue one that'll come out here next. Lateness and maturity is all very good. Extension you like about that hog. We just need to make this one better. Moving off both ends, wider constructed and more muscular. We go ahead and bring all three of these ones down. Actually, they're extremely, extremely similar in their type and kind. All of them have the right kind of lateness and maturity. Ones that are big scaled, high performing type hogs. We just need to make them wider and more muscular. Really good class. So I'm going to give all those kids a big hand.
In that class, receiving purple ribbons are Spencer Broughton and Kayla McDonald. Receiving blues are Taylor Noyes, Benson Judd. And receiving reds are Allison Smith, Kenzie Howley, Olivia Roberts, and Kaylin Sam Gray. Please welcome our 7th class of Market Pigs, Steve Reynolds, Amelia Gonzalez, 52, Dylan Camp, Lucas Roberts, and Chase Roberts. The weight break on this class is 307 to 320.
Getting really good classes. We're getting into these heavier weights here. Young man's black and white one is going to go ahead and win. That one's just the EST in this particular class. That one's the widest, the biggest end, the biggest back, the heaviest muscle. Just fundamentally correct. Nice one to go ahead and win. Young ladies, one that'll go ahead and come in second. Of the remaining ones that we have in here, that one's got the next most shape and expression up high in terms of lean muscle shape and expression. We're just going to change this one if we can make that one a nickel wider coming and going, stouter featured and bigger foot at the surface. Young man's hug that'll go ahead and come in third. Big centered, soft, hug that's got lots of value. But if we can maybe make this one a little bit stouter featured at the surface as well, make that one wider chested and bigger centered in terms of outward turn, then maybe we'd be able to move a few spots up there. Similar story with our blue one that'll come out here next. Lateness and maturity with this one is all very good. Extension ahead of his shoulders, right? We need to make that one wider, constructed, and more flexible off both ends. But one that you like in terms of lateness and maturity. Blue one here, again, one that's plenty flexible in its skills and real world value in that one. In terms of having the product, we just need to make that one wider, constructed, have some extras in terms of some stoutness, the feature there. And then our calico one here to round out the set. Again, lateness and maturity, tall blade and extension is all very good. We should make that one wider coming and going. Good class. Go ahead and give all those kids a big hand.
Receiving a purple in that class is Cinch Reynolds. Receiving blue, Amelia Gonzalez. Receiving red, Amelia Gonzalez. Dylan Camp, Lucas Roberts, and Chase Roberts. Please welcome your final class of market hogs. We'll need Abigail McCauley, Ross McDonald, Elaine McDonald, Tanner Bird, Lucas Roberts, Joseph Crater, and Kenzie Howie. Your weight break in this class is 325 to 370.
really good class again as we get into the heavyweights. Young man's blue hip one that's going to go ahead and win. Again, similar story with the last one. That's the EST in terms of being that one's the widest. This heaviest muscles and most expressive in terms of shape in this particular set. Just is the most complete, puts the most good together there. Young man's jumping over here on the fence, so we'll go ahead and be second. Commend the young man as an exhibitor getting this one looking right for the show ring. Skin and hair is all very good. But talking about the pig in itself, one that I think is plenty big and productive in the center. Just very soft-sided there. We could change this one and make that one stouter featured at the surface, maybe a little bit more powerful from behind. We like those things about that hog. Young lady's blue gilt going to go ahead and be third. Shape and expression of that one is good. And for the fat figure, lean basis there. We can make that one wider coming and going. Young lady's blue one that will go ahead and come in next. You like this one from a lateness and maturity standpoint. Extension is all very good. We're just getting a little bit too frail there, and our bone work at the surface, a little too narrow driving and coming at you and going away. But we'll discuss the value there. Similar story with the blue one that runs out here next. One that's big and productive in its standard. It's a good product-driven hog. If we could just make that one wider constructed and bigger in terms of that one's internal cavity, coming and going, be able to move up a couple spots there. Similar thing with the blue gilts will come out here, tall blade and lateness and maturity. This one is very good, like the extension that one has. Again, at the surface, we're just too frail in our feature and bone work. We can make her shout skull coming and going as well. And then the Duroc that'll round out the set, tall blade and lateness and maturity is all very good. And you like to see those things about that hog in the industry. We just need to make that one more flexible off both ends to move up. Really good class when it gives those heavyweight kids a big hand.
Okay, for market class 8, receiving blue ribbons is Abigail McCauley, Elaine McDonald, Tanner Bird, and Joseph Kroger. Receiving red ribbons is Nancy Howey, Lucas Roberts, and Ross McDonald. This shall be your final drive of market hogs coming out in no particular order. We will have Cinch Reynolds, Joseph Kroger, Caden Broughton, Spencer Broughton, Wade Leachman, Caden Broughton, Dylan Anderson, and Spencer Broughton.
Real quick here, we'll just kind of briefly discuss each one of these homes again of why they earn their way to the top end of their respective classes and what they're doing, you know, what these things, and I see in these things that make them hold their own out here in the final drive. So again, in no particular order, young man, they come out of our second to last heavyweight class, just a fundamentally correct hub that's wide and dimensional, big, centered, and productive in its kind. Just wish we could make that one a little bit easier to find from the side in terms of tallness of blade, unique things there. Young man's blue hip, one that come out of the heavyweight class. Again, one that you can't ding too hard in terms of having some moral value. Will be a big, high-performing heavyweight, productive in its kind. Just wish we could make that one come with a little bit extras in terms of show ring presence and quality there from the side. But one you like a lot of things about. Young man's belted barrel towards the lighter end of the, today. Again, one that's good in terms of shape and expression, powerful from behind, just like we discussed with this one. If we can maybe make that one a little bit taller bladed and more unique up front, but one you like shape and expression, all good things about that. The belted barrel here again, the young man's doing a good job of making sure we're showing the cool pieces of this one in terms of being tall bladed and plenty flexible. You know, if we're going to change this guy ever so slightly, we can make him hook up a little bit better there where his hip hooks into his spine. Maybe get a little bit more flexibility as the drive wears on off of his rear too, but a nice one there. Young man's gelt, again, towards the heavier end of today. Tall bladed, very, very good in terms of extension up front. You like the shape and expression of that gelt. Just wish we could make that one bigger and bolder and a forward in particular, but one you like a lot of pieces about. A blue one out of, again, towards the liner end of the day. We talked about how unique and how different that hug is in terms of that one's shotness of skull, big arm, big foot at the surface. Again, like we said, we need to make him wider. He needs to have a little bit more muscle there, but a very unique, different animal there. Young lady spot back, again, liking this one a lot in terms of being bigger, centered, one that's got lots of shape and dimension up high. Remembering back to that class, this one's definitely the better skeleton one. And it's impressive to be plenty muscular, but still get out and go, plenty acceptable, and that one's flexibility and range of motion there. Like we said, we want to have that one's hip hook in better to his spine, maybe reshape that one's skull ever so slightly. Really, really competitive set of hugs in here. If you would, give all these kids a big round of applause. Go ahead and take your chance to the reserve.
Receiving grand champion is Katie Broughton. We will send pigs. We'll call for a second place pig in that weight division before he makes his choice on reserve.
We're bringing the second place out of that particular class in here, just like we talked about that one in class. That's what a back is supposed to look like in a show pig in terms of being big and square, fresh in terms of shape. That one's rib cage is very, very good and powerful from behind. Tall blade and gives you the right kind of look. I think, again, really, really good set all the way through. But like we discussed, that pairing class, I wouldn't argue with you if you'd like to switch it. I think it just makes the most sense to keep them paired up. That one will go ahead and be our reserve champion.
Receiving reserve market is Wade Leach. All right, our market showman will also receive, grand champion will receive a buckle, sponsored by Columbia Beer and reserve market will receive a jacket by Deep Creek Show Pig, Lady Hill. The banners that these individuals also received were donated by Rocky Show Pig. That concludes our Hog Show this morning. If you're interested in watching the rest of the shows, our lamb show starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon.